Hi, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Brittany, and today we are doing a Yin yoga class. So we'll be holding these postures for a little bit longer with the intention of getting into the joints, the fascia, releasing some stress, and just unwinding. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and pause this video, slip into something comfortable, and we will be using props for today's practice. So I have a bolster and 2 blocks. If you are at home and you do not have a bolster and 2 blocks, you can get creative with blankets, get pillows, anything that you think is going to help you get more comfortable. To start, we are going to sit in a comfortable position. You can elevate your hips up onto a block and then relax the shoulders away from the ears. I would like to start this practice by tuning into your body and noticing how you feel. Maybe this is the first time that you have tried to check in today. Noticing any sensations in the body. Maybe you can even feel your pulse or your heartbeat. And then we are going to start to tune into our breath. First, just noticing the way the breath feels entering the nostrils. Noticing its temperature. Maybe even noticing which nostril is taking the inhale. And follow that breath all the way into the body. How does the breath feel once it gets to the throat? And then once it passes the throat, where is it going? Is your breath going to the chest? Maybe the ribs or the belly? And just as you focused on the inhale, now let's take our awareness to the exhale. Noticing what part of the body contracts to exhale. Does your breath have a different temperature on the exhale than it did on the inhale? Following the breath out, how does the breath feel on the nostrils now? In just a few moments, we will begin to control the breathing just to get in a restorative state and turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing us to prepare the body for our Yin practice. You'll be breathing in through your nose to a count of 4, and then we'll take a soft exhale to a count of 6. And if that exhale is a little difficult, you can always pretend to be blowing through a straw to help lengthen the exhale. Give it a little more control. We'll begin that breath work in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may continue on with this pace and count of breath work. Or if you would be better served today, allowing your breath just to fall back into its natural pattern, you can do so. Just notice how the breath is landing in the body now after we've spent some time controlling the breath and taking our awareness to it. And we're going to just begin by rolling out the neck, dropping your left ear towards your left shoulder. Breathe in. And then drop the head back, chin towards the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. And then exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, drop the head back. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. And exhale, tilt the chin down. Taking it the other direction. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, drop the head back. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, drop the chin forward. One more round. Right ear, right shoulder. Breathe in. Exhale, drop the head back. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. And exhale, drop the chin towards the chest. Very nice. Put your head in a neutral position. Roll the shoulders up and back. And then take those circles the opposite direction. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get in a comfortable position on our backs. I'm going to be laying on my bolster. Again, if you do not have a bolster at home, you can use your pillows to prop yourself up. My bolster is going to come underneath my head and my upper body. And then turn the palms face up. Now, if your blocks are nearby, I'd like you to go ahead and grab them, taking your feet into a Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open. Now you can use your blocks here underneath the thighs for support. The intention is not to go to our fullest extent of this posture, the fullest expression. Instead, we would like to go to about that 80% point and allow the body to just ease and deepen the longer that you're here. This is more about comfort and restoration than it is finding our edge in some of these postures. So go ahead and let the knees fall open. Take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Noticing the breath beneath the palms. The rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. If at any time throughout this practice, as we slow down, our mind may begin to wander, and if that happens for you, get back to counting your breath, inhales to 4 and exhales to 6 or even 8. Using your breath as an anchor throughout this practice to stay grounded and to stay present. With the left palm on your heart space, maybe you can notice your heart rate. Noticing your breath rate. Using this pose here as sort of a thermometer. Testing the heart rate, the breath rate, and how the body feels here as we begin this yin practice. Just a few more breath cycles here. At this point, if you would like to even move the blocks further away, if you feel like you are in a position to get deeper into this posture, you may widen the blocks more closer to the knees and further away from the hips, and that will allow the knees to sink deeper in. And then begin to take the hands underneath the thighs and gently close the knees. Go ahead and set your blocks off to the side. Keep them accessible. Plant the feet, and we're just going to windshield wiper left and right. Left and right. Releasing any tension in the hips and the low back. And then the next time your knees are off to the left, let them stay there. And if it helps to shimmy the hips over to the right a tad, you can do so. And this may also be a spot where your blocks will come in handy. If this twist is causing your right shoulder to peel up away from your bolster or your pillow, you can place a block underneath that bottom leg or even underneath in between the legs, allowing the top leg to rest. You find something that feels comfortable here. You can take your arms out into a cactus or a T. And then when it feels comfortable, if you would like to deepen this posture, you can take your gaze over to the right. Just notice how that feels on your neck. If it feels like it's too much, then keep your gaze straight up. A few more breaths just here in this twist. Can you create a little bit more distance between those right floating ribs and the top of the right hip? Very slowly, you'll begin to make the transition, bringing the knees back through center. You can windshield wiper left and right a few more times here as you set up for your supine twist on the right side. So the next time the knees are over to the right, allow them to stay there. Again, option to prop the legs up any amount with your blocks or your pillows. And then once you feel settled in here, maybe you explore taking your gaze over to the left. It's very important in these slower practices that we are easy with our body, we are gentle, never forcing anything, just finding a new position where we can find a bit more ease. Release a bit more tension. Find a little less stress and more flow. A few more breaths. And very slowly bring the knees back up through center. Put the hips in a neutral position and release the hips and low back. Once again, with windshield wipe, bring the knees left and right. Now from here, we are going to get up off of our bolster. So if it is more accessible to you to roll over to your left or your right side and press yourself up, go ahead and do so. And then we are going to get into a tabletop position. Wrists underneath elbows, underneath shoulders, and knees underneath our hips. Go ahead and untuck the toes. Just take an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. And an exhale, rounding through the spine, drop the head and neck, cat pose. Very nice. Inhale, open up. And exhale to cat. One more time, inhale, draw the shoulder blades together on the back, lift the tailbone. And then exhale, press the mat away, tuck of the tailbone, drop the head and neck. Find your neutral table once more. Grab a hold of your bolster or your pillow, slide it in closer to the knees as we find a child's pose. So I'm going to take my knees a little bit wider. If that's too much on your low back or the inner thighs, you can keep your knees closer. So sinking the hips back, letting your forehead rest down on your bolster or your block. And then arms can reach out long in front of you, or they can wrap around your bolster or your pillow. Get into a position where you will be able to find rest. It may take a little shimmying left and right of the hips to find that position, but take your time. You have time to explore this and find something that feels good. While you are in this child's pose, maybe you notice how the breath expands in the belly, maybe even the belly pressing up against the thighs as you breathe in. Noticing the mat beneath the shins, the connection of your palms to the body, the bolster, or the ground. Just getting really grounded in this posture. Are there any adjustments that you can make that will allow you to soften 1% more into your practice, 1% more into your mat? Releasing the jaw and the shoulders and the neck. And very slowly, go ahead and come off of your props and set them to the side. Keep them accessible. We're going to lie on our belly and actually take your bolster and your blocks kind of towards the back edge of your mat. Stacking your palms, go ahead and kick your heels to the ceiling. You can rest your chin or your forehead on the top of your hands. We're going to windshield wiper here for a moment. Very nice. And then we're going to take your right arm out into a T. Take your legs long. And then take your left hand underneath your left shoulder and begin to press into that left palm, rolling the body on top of the right arm, coming into what I like to call a broken wing. My left foot is going to plant behind the right. My left hand can stay here beside the face or the rib cage. Or if I would like to get a little bit deeper into the chest, I can even take a half bend, wrapping my left hand behind the back. And for even deeper expression, you can bring your fingertips back and go ahead and roll it. So lower back up on your chest and your shoulders. So please, remember that this practice is about comfort, something that feels good to you, not a sustainable for these long efforts. If you're hard and feeling comfortable, then you'll start on your bolster on your pillow. You can place your pillow underneath your tailbone. Just asking yourself where you can get 1% deeper, 1% softer. Slowly, gently working your way back onto your belly as we take it to the other side, teeing out your left arm, right palm underneath the shoulder to press the body over that left arm. Left palm is facing down, and then your right foot will step and plant behind the left. Same options on this side. Right hand can stay by the face or the ribs. Or for a little more opening in the chest, you can wrap that right arm around the low back. Breathing into that chest space as it continues to expand here. And very slowly rolling back onto the belly. Once again, stacking palms, resting your chin or your forehead. Kick the heels towards the ceiling and just find a windshield wiper, resetting the spine. Very nice. Take your legs long, coming into Sphinx pose. Elbows will rest under the collarbones, resting on the forearms, spreading through each fingertip. Go ahead and untuck the toes, energetically pulling the heart through the arms, driving the tops of the feet and the pubic bone into the mat, lifting the crown of the head tall, just feeling into this back bend here. And very slowly start to roll back onto the belly, planting the hands under the shoulders, press into the palms, and swing your way around to a seat. I'm going to turn to face you all. If you would like to face the long edge of your mat, we are coming into a wide-legged seat, and it doesn't have to be the widest seat that you can find, but take the legs into sort of a V shape, and then go ahead and grab a hold of your bolster and your blocks. We are going to do some stacking here. So I'm going to stack both of my blocks to start on top of my bolster. And then legs are in a V. Begin to roll the toes towards the back of the room and begin to reach your chest forward. Now you might rest your chest here. You might come all the way down onto the chin. And the longer you're here, you may find that you can remove one, two, or all of the props and come all the way into a fold. So you just work into this pose, explore it a little bit, see how it feels. Maybe even shifting the hips left and right here will help you to get deeper into the pose. And then find a moment where you can rest. want you just to take your awareness to how the body releases. Once the body knows that it's safe, there tends to be a bit of a release, which is why when we get into these poses, there's a little bit of gripping, a little bit of holding. And then the longer we're here, we soften, we deepen. Using your breath to explore the depths of this fold. Just a few more breaths if you would like to explore this pose a little bit deeper. Visualizing the breath, creating space in those areas that feel a little extra tight. And very slowly begin to walk the upper body up. Leaning back just a tad, taking the hands underneath the thighs or the knees to gently close the knees. Take your bolsters and your props out of the way for a moment. Rest back onto the palms and windshield wiper once again. Just releasing all of that. Very nice. And then we're going to come into that seated butterfly, similar to how we started. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees will open wide. And again, you can use your blocks here underneath the thighs or the shins or the knees. Take your hands into your feet, kind of turn them open like a little book, and then sit up nice and tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can begin to fold. Now your blocks are being used underneath the legs at this point. So if you want to place your bolster over top of the feet, you can use it as a little prop, just like this. If the blocks would feel better underneath your palms or your chin, you can remove the blocks from under your legs and use them here as well. Plenty of time to explore the depths of Baddha Konasana. Very slowly, once you begin to walk the hands underneath the shoulders, sitting upright, removing the blocks, removing your bolster. And taking a windshield wiper if you need to release that nice deep hip opener. Very nice. Our next posture is going to be a supported fish. So I'm going to take one block underneath my head and one block underneath my chest. You are also welcome to place your bolster here on top of the blocks if you have it. And recline back onto your props. Palms face up. Opening through the chest space. And I have my legs kind of in this cross-legged position simply because that's what feels good to me right now. You have the option to take the legs long or even into Baddha Konasana once again, Supta Baddha Konasana. That is entirely up to you. The intention of this pose, however, is to open through the heart space and the chest space. So whatever you can do to deepen the opening across the chest is where I would like you to go. When we began this practice, we tuned into our bodies in the Supta Baddha Konasana shape, and we used it as a thermometer. And what I mean by that is we're going to check back in with the body here in this similar posture, noticing how the heart rate is now after your practice, how the breath rate is now. Maybe even your body has changed temperature a bit. Just noticing how it feels when you've taken time to restore, get into the body, calm and quiet the mind, and tune into your breath. Just a few more breaths in this supported back bend. Once again, as we transition, if it is easier for you to turn to your left or to your right side, roll over and push yourself up to a seat. To end this practice, I'd like to recommend taking your legs up the wall. If you do not have a wall nearby, You can take a traditional Shavasana. We'll be in this posture for approximately 10 minutes. If your practice does not allow for that much time and space, you can end this video whenever you need to, and I thank you for practicing with me. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and scoot your mat and your hips up to a wall, excuse me. If you want to take any comfortable items with you to stay warm, to stay cozy, you may do so. I'm going to set mine off to the side. And scoot your mat over to the wall so your hips have something comfortable to rest on. You're going to scoot your hips up to the wall. Make your way onto your back and just swing the legs up. Get comfortable here. This is a very restorative posture, and if you are not familiar with legs up the wall, or if you're not used to this in your practice, several breaths in, the legs might start to feel warm, maybe even a little tingly, and if it is something that you are not enjoying, I invite you to take the legs back down, hug them into the chest, and then come into a traditional Shavasana lying on your back. Otherwise, I will leave you here to find a quick body scan and begin your Shavasana. Begin to bring your awareness back to your body, to the room. Taking a soft breath in and a full breath out. If you are ready, you can gently blink the eyes open and begin to draw the knees into your chest. Wrapping your arms over your shins. You can give yourself a little hug, maybe even rocking side to side, massaging the low back. When you're ready, you'll rock over into a fetal position. Say something kind to yourself, something loving to your body. And then when you're ready, you will come on up to a comfortable seat as we close out this yin practice together. Taking your time, moving slow. Eyes can be closed if you are more comfortable that way or in a soft gaze. Inhale the arms overhead, unite the palms, and then drag the thumb knuckles in front of the heart space, gently dropping the chin and pressing the heart forward just a tad. Thank you so much for practicing with me. It was my honor. Go in peace, love, and light. Namaste.